like just you and me. We're
That's right. Well, anyway, I'm
like
looking
Leon
at
Patillo
Twyla
and
everybody.
Steve Taylor, everybody.
So in other words, the industry, the recording industry at large is discovering gospel music, not because they're interested in saving people's souls.
But because they're interested in making money and they think that they might be able to do it.
Make money on gospel music. Yeah, well, do you think they can?
I guess I'm not a fortune reader, so I'm not sure I want to
look at all these
predict the future.
Well, it just goes on and on. All these stuff. This is stuff that if you watch light music, you know anyway, but if you've never watched light music before, this is, the gospel music industry is hot. Boy, that's sort of amazing. That's almost a shame, because I know that whenever the big money gets into anything, then...
sometimes the message is compromised. Although the people at A&M feel that when Amy Grant came over, that they're just trying to make what she's doing reach more people, that they claim that they're giving her complete artistic freedom. So
well, they certainly, I mean, she certainly hasn't compromised her message, that's for sure. So that's great. Well, I don't know what to say.
They're talking about Russ Taff next. They're coming in.
Oh, that'd be great, because boy, have you heard his? He was on Light Music. Oh, I'm sorry, upstairs they got this wonderful shot on the magazine, and I just messed it up. There you are. You can have it again. Please forgive me, Paul. I didn't even know what was going on. There it is.
The Metals tape. The Metals record.
Well, what I'm thinking of is he was on Light Music just a while ago, and he said his vision is to have like 3- and 4-day contemporary Christian concert, evangelistic series of concerts, and like the first one would be paid for, and then the ones after that would be free, and you'd bring your friends, you know, and you get them all saved. Really exciting, exciting stuff.
But the question is, would Christian teenagers bring their friends?
That's the good question.
And the reason why I mention that is because most of the time, Christian teenagers, at least that I work with, are into music of the world, and they know more about it, and I'm sure we can talk about that forever. But
you know, it's very interesting. I don't even know if I can show this on the camera. The back. Here's all this gospel music, and on the back we have this big picture of Madonna, who is like got to be the well, I don't want to judge her or anything, but I don't know,
certainly her statement that crucifixes are sexy because there's a naked man on them. Really, certainly grieves my heart. I'm sure the heart of the Lord.
Yeah. Okay. You've been involved recently with the PMRC.
Those Parents Music Resource Centers.
But talk about
sexual content or perverted sexual activity. Would be the occult. Those kinds of generic labels, which are not saying suitable for general consumption or whatever. They're just simply saying this album contains material that is involved with the occult.
Who would decide that?
I guess at this point they're asking the record industry to do that, and my attitude is like, you might as well ask a fox to guard a hen house, you know, to ask the record industry to police themselves. But
well, that's very interesting.
Well, one of the other issues that they've not to jump in on you, but they got this buzzword about censorship. You know, that you've probably heard. How dare these couple of ladies dictate the morality of? And they're really not really trying to do that. What they're trying to do is they're for kids. They want to help kids. And the record industry better want to help kids, too, because they're making $4 billion a year off of our kids.
I was thinking, you know, there's a lot of records now that advocate suicide. And what's happening is as the record industry pushes those records, they're losing their audience. They're killing them. I mean, I don't want to make fun of suicide, but that's really the truth.
No, that's true. And what's happening is these parents are simply saying, hey, we love our kids. And we know, like, we have minimum United States standards for meat, for processing meat, okay? And some meat doesn't pass, so they reject it. Well, why can't we have minimum standards for music, which both of them go into your body? One nourishes your body, one nourishes your soul or your spirit. And certain things that go into your mind is just not healthy.
Do you think that the record industry, if it was, I have a feeling it's not going to be because of the opposition, but if it was, you know, accepted, having different symbols for, you know, occult, or do you think they'll have an R for religious material?
I wouldn't be surprised.
That, Amy Grant records get marked R, and so you know that...
Potentially religious content enclosed.
Probably, I don't know. Anyway, okay, you brought... I'm almost afraid to show these folks. If you have... I don't know if to give a disclaimer or what. I don't know. I am not shocked by rock and roll, folks. I was in rock and roll for years and years, as those of you who know my testimony. I worked for everybody there is to work for, but I am shocked by these two album covers. I mean, I never... Well, I don't even know what to say.
Well, I think
I want to show them to you just because, I mean...
this is what they're saying we want to protect.
Yeah, right.
Okay?
Right.
That's the bottom line. The first thing we have here is... Yeah. Which, is this okay?
What camera? Over here? Hello, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not... don't go out and buy this, folks.
This is not a recommendation for the Bronski Beat. These are three guys who say that they're glad to be gay. They are three homosexuals who are singing about the joys of homosexual behavior. And they discuss everything from the showers that you've heard about, and the whole problem, of course, we've had with AIDS, to think that they would push this on radio, glorifying the homosexual lifestyle. The other one is a little bit more...
I mean, I can't believe this. Go ahead, show it. I mean...
Well, I bought this in a store in Pennsylvania, and the album is called
Scorpions.
It's by the group called the Scorpions.
Isn't that incredible?
And the album is called Virgin Killer.
So what they're saying is to go out and molest children, I guess. Right.
And the song, the theme of the song is simply, children are basically demons' delights and to be abused.
I mean, as a father, I feel like burning it. You know, I mean, I'm not.
Well, I've already got a head start on that one.
I'm not in favor of burning records, folks, but that's awful.
It's a folding record.
I mean, that's really horrible. I mean, that really is horrible. And this is the kind of thing that Frank Zappa and the other ones are saying that
they want to protect.
They want to protect.
Here, would you like a piece?
Thank you. I think I'll put it up on the bulletin board just so we know what it is. I mean, that is really, really grotesque. Is all the only.
And so that's on RCA Records. Now the problem is, do you think that NBC would do a documentary on the actions of RCA when NBC owns RCA? I mean, it's a tough thing. We're talking very big dollars here, and not to get into hot water or anything, but certainly if you ask the industry to police itself, they're so related financially and structurally and corporately that it's very difficult for one arm to say, you will stop selling this kind of stuff.
Well, who buys records like this?
Well, the Scorpions, I would say there's probably about a 22% of the market that would even be interested in the heavy metal, the heavy rock and roll that the Scorpions play. I just walked right into a record store in the Philadelphia area and walked under S, and I found the Scorpions. And one thing that I would certainly recommend, if anybody ever goes into the store and sees that record, just take it to the counter and say, here, this is child pornography. It's illegal in our country. Now, you have the option of removing it, or I'll have the option of bringing a man in blue, and we'll have a little discussion in court.
I mean, child pornography is illegal. Yeah, it's illegal. Yeah. I mean, gosh,
there's no protection of that. And that's what surprises me, that there was no question when I bought it. It was just displayed right there.
Yuck. Okay. So what basically have you been telling the PMRC? I have trouble with initials.
Yeah.
Bobby, there's more and more. What have you, BD, been telling the PMRC about R&R?
Well, TG, my response to that would be basically trying to expand the argument to include all of music and all of media. Rock and roll is not the enemy. It's so easy to pick on it, but I could have brought in a copy of Tom Jones's album, where he's involved, in a very, sensual way with some scantily clad gals. Or Barry Manilow advocating fornication. We've talked about some of this in the past, and certainly they need to understand that it's not rock music alone. It's all around. Of course, we know with the spiritual battle that's why it can be found in country and in opera and soap opera. So,
yeah, that's true.
So I try to expand the PMRC's perspective on it, to take in more of that.
We have about 3 minutes left. You did something recently that was very interesting that I wanted to ask you about. For those who are regular light music viewers, I, a while ago, put up a bunch of addresses of different rock stars that you gave me.
The Rock Star Missionary.
Rock Star Missionary, and asked people to write to them and tell them that Jesus loves them and that they need to get saved. And I'm going to do that again pretty soon, folks, as soon as I can get some more addresses out of this guy. But you took it a step further. You went to an AC/DC concert.
Yes, I did. I must confess. Forgive me. I went to an AC/DC concert along with a friend, Damon Fogel, who's a youth minister. And Damon and I went to the concert to just experience what was going on. That we talked to kids. We were saying, hey, kid, what do you think about, and going through this. And the kids were very interested in talking. And I saw one T-shirt that I almost asked the guy to give to you. The back of it says, I hate you. The guy's walking this way, right? And he says, he doesn't know who I am, and he hates me. I mean, friendly people at this concert. Anyway, so we went there, and we listened to what the group was selling from stage, and I really felt as if, boy, I wish someone could share the love of Christ with them. And I just started praying, Lord, maybe me. I don't know. I'll be happy to try. So we waited around for 2.5 hours after the concert. Now it's about 1 o'clock. We followed them to their hotel, which takes a little bit of, you got to figure out where they're going and follow the bus and all the decoys and stuff. We go to the hotel, and we follow them into the bar. Yes, into the bar. I had water, but we went to the bar, and we just sat down and started sharing Jesus Christ. I was working on the sound man and the bass player, and for about 40 minutes. Damon had a chance to talk to Brian, the lead singer, just face-to-face. He says, listen, Brian, people have probably yelled this at you. People have probably screamed at you. I just want to tell you, I mean, you're not talking to the press here, just one-on-one. I want to tell you, Jesus Christ loves you, and explain what that was all about. We left them with a little note and our address, and in case they want to talk further.
Now, they didn't have to listen to you guys.
Not at all. They could have. They had this big guy about 4,000 pounds that I was afraid.
Well, I've got Derek, you know. I mean, they didn't have to listen, but they did.
But they did. They chose to. And I think part of the reason is they don't run into very many real people. One kid, for example, in the lobby who somehow knew that they were there said, "Oh, wow, sign my shirt, sign my shirt." So he signed his shirt. He's like, "Wow, he signed my shirt." He's walking out and all, because that's all kids want. They just want an autograph, or I talked to him, I talked to him. From our perspective as Christian people, we talk to the creator of heaven and earth every day. So we just went in and shared that with them and said, listen, you may be a rock star, but unless you get right with Jesus Christ, it doesn't matter.
Well, now we know who to pray for. That's tremendous, Bobby. Are you going to continue doing that, or is that a whole new ministry for you? Or?
Yeah, be a rock star missionary. Well, if you can't get to the concerts, you can certainly write to them. So I will get you some more addresses so we can.
Please.
And that's even if their music, whether it's Tears for Fears or Wham or whoever it may be, even if it's positive, if they don't know the Lord, they're going to spend eternity in hell. And he says, I wish that none would be lost. So that's our job to pray for them.
That's true. Well, Bobby, we're going to go to a light music note, and when we get back, we got the band together, and we are going to do a song that'll rock your socks off. Trust me, folks, it's good stuff. So here is a light music note for you, and then we'll come back and do a song that you arranged called Get Saved with the light music band. So here's a note for you right now. Watch carefully.
He gives life, he gives life.
Well, well, I don't know, guys. You think your church congregations will be able to handle it when they see you in the next day? That was neat, Bobby. I really enjoyed that. That's the single. You want to show your single? Okay, here's a free. Can you get that? Here's a free plug for Bobby. I don't know what camera to show it to. It's a single that he has. How do they get it? By calling me? They can't hear you. Okay, write to me and I'll get you this. This is Get Saved. Do you sing on it? John doesn't. James Ward sings on it. Far out. That's really neat. That's sweet. This is a number of. You've done a bunch of. What's some of the other ones? Mr. Jonah Video Veggie. Yeah, you guys got to get Video Veggie. You can write to me for Bobby's stuff. They can't hear you. Why don't you sneak over and talk in John's microphone?
Hey, listen, Tom, I want to thank you for giving us a chance to rock and roll. And you're saying, hey, wow, we'll be back sometime with doing the jam.
Yes, I hope the show's on tomorrow. That'd be really great. Yeah, thank you, guys.
It's been fun, though. Thanks.
It's been fun, yeah. And thank you, Bobby. It's always exciting when you come on. John, thanks for learning the song in 10 seconds. I appreciate it. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.